Exam is due next week. Review or fail the exam.
Sa ulo ng mga nagbabagang balita, isang bata ang bagsak dahil hindi nag-review.
The following program is rated G. It is suitable for all audiences.
Patterns are everywhere. We can see it in arts. It's just lines, shapes, and colors. In nature, like how a face of a tiger is symmetrical and the shell is fractal. And even in our lives, we can see patterns. For instance, our daily routine. We wake up, we eat, then we go to school, we go home, we do our stuff, and then we sleep. And then the next day, we repeat. And ultimately, we can observe pattern in mathematics. Arithmetic and geometric sequence, series, Fibonacci numbers, Pascal's triangle, among others. After all, mathematics is the science of patterns. So let's take a look at this problem. Suppose you decided to sign up for a marathon race covering 40 kilometers. After a long and grueling 3 months of training with a coach, race day is here. The gun goes off and you embark on attempting a really impressive feat. Your coach records your elapsed time in minutes for the first 20 kilometers of the race, and it is as. For the first 4 kilometers, time elapsed is 5 minutes. First 8 kilometer, time elapsed is 6 minutes. First 12 kilometer, time elapsed is 8 minutes. First 16 kilometer, time elapsed is 11 minutes. And for the first 20 kilometer, time elapsed is 15 minutes. Now the question is, how fast did you finish the last 4 kilometers of the marathon? What do you see from the problem? Do you see any pattern? Yes, there is a pattern. The time elapsed as you progress in the marathon is getting longer. First, you completed 4 kilometers in 5 minutes. Then the next 4 kilometers for 6 minutes. Then the next 4 kilometers for 8 minutes, and so on. From the data provided, we can say that the pattern is like this. The time elapsed as you finish 4 kilometers is getting longer by 1, 2, 3, and so on minutes. And so on with respect to the time you finished the previous 4 kilometer distance. In solving pattern problems, we can try and see if the pattern is either an arithmetic or geometric sequence. In this case, the pattern is neither of the two, so we cannot use the formula in arithmetic and geometric sequence. So in solving this problem, we're gonna use an alternative solution, the listing method. Since we know the pattern, we can predict the next terms of the pattern. Put it in the table to organize the data. Our table will be like this. And from the table we created, we can easily see that the time you finished the last 4 kilometers is 50 minutes. Therefore, you finished the last 4 kilometers in 50 minutes.
𝗵𝗺𝗁𝗂. 𝗵𝗺𝗁𝗂 was regarded as the father of modern emphasis on math education and problem solving. He's the leading research mathematician of his time, making seminal contribution on probability, combinational theory, and conflict analysis. Polya was also famous for his creation of the Forster process in solving a problem, which is used all over to aid people to solve a problem. The Forster process are as follows. Step 1. Understand the problem. Read the problem carefully, then list all the components, data, givens, and assign variables if necessary. Then label each given properly. Step 2. Devise a plan. Come up with a plan on how are you going to solve the problem. It can be in the form of equation, drawing diagrams, making charts, among others. Step 3. carry out the plan. Execute the plan you've just created to solve the problem. Step 4. Look back. Check if all the information you used are correct and if the answer actually makes sense. If the answer is checked out, write the final answer with the correct labeling.
So now let's take a problem in a real life situation and we're gonna use 4-step techniques of Polyas to solve it. So given this situation, Mary Jane class voted on examination day. 4/8 of the class voted for Tuesday, 5/16 of the class voted for Thursday, the rest of the class voted for Friday. So the question is, what fraction of the class voted for Friday? So the first thing that we need to consider in Polya solving process is to understand. So I am here to cross out info which is not needed and underline information which is important. So I think the unnecessary information is Mary Jane class voted on examination day and voted on Tuesday and voted on Thursday and voted on Friday. And also I must to underline important information which is 4/8 of the class, 5/16 of the class, and highlight the question which is what fraction of the class voted for Friday. So since I have done understanding the situation, now we can also formulate a plan. So I have here a visual interpretation of the given situation, which is a box which is separated from different parts. So the two parts is given, which is 4/8 and 5/16, and the last one is unknown, which we have a clue that it was the rest of the class. So now we can carry out the plan. So the first thing that we need to consider is to add the fraction and subtract from 1, meaning the given fraction which is 4/8 and 5/16. So since the denominator of the two fraction is not the same, we must consider to make it the same. So I take a number which can make the denominator of 4/8 16. So I pick 2, which is 4 times 2 divided by 8 times 2 will be 8/16. So since the denominator is the same, we can now add the numerator. So 8 plus 5 is equal to 13 divided by 16. So copy the denominator, which is the answer is 13/16. So now we can find the fraction of the class voted for Friday. So we just need to subtract 1 to 13/16. So I intended to use 16/16 because it was equal to 1 also. So 16/16 minus 13/16 will be, so copy the denominator 16 and subtract the numerator. 16 minus 13 is equal to 3. So this is the fraction of the class voted for Friday, which is 13/16. So now the last part of Polya solving process is to check. So I have here, so just add all of the given value, the class voted for Tuesday, the class voted for Thursday, and the rest of the class voted for Friday. So we have all of the given values. So 4/8 plus 5/16 plus 3/16. So it will equal to 16/16 or 1. So meaning the fraction of the class voted for Friday is 13/16. We satisfy because it will equal to 1. So that is how you solve word problem using 4-step techniques of Polya's method. So that's it. Thank you.
VICSON SUBA summa cum laude.